Hello,
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night,
whatever time it is for you.
whatever time. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. I think I always say, "Oh my goodness," like first
Oh
thing.
my goodness.
Oh my goodness. How's everyone doing this lovely whatever time it is for you?
It's lovely Saturday. It's probably Saturday for people here.
That is true. That is a likely possibility.
Probably
That it is a
90%
Saturday.
chance that it's Saturday.
A 90%? Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I love seeing familiar names in the chat, makes me happy.
Yeah, I recognize so many. It's so fun.
Yeah. I was looking at, like, all the live shows I've had on my channel, I was like, "Wow." Like, we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, no, it's crazy to think about.
I think we started in May? August.
July.
July.
Close.
Okay.
8 months.
Also 3 months?
8 months.
8 months. I was like,
This is the
3?
other 3 to my 5.
Also, if I'm a little low energy, I definitely am sick, so
I will attempt to make up for it.
you have to be, like, extra energetic to, like,
Oh
balance it
god.
out, you know?
I don't know if I can do extra energy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I
Liz
swear,
can
like
confirm that it's Saturday. That's
a
good.
absolutely. Oh my goodness. I swear, like, every time I stream now, like, something is wrong with me. Like, when we stream on my channel, I've, like, lost my voice, like, overslept, or, like,
Just not
been
been
sick.
there.
So, like, should we continue streaming on my channel at this point? Because I think it's cursed.
Like, yeah, but no. We'll take a poll.
Yeah, but no. Do we have next month's book picked out? We do.
We do.
We do.
I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, Katie twisted my arm real hard. She was
No,
like, "This
I
book?" And I was like,
mentioned it,
"Yeah,
and you're
sounds
like,
good."
"Okay, yeah, sure."
I was being sarcastic. Yeah. During that conversation when we were talking about what book to choose next, Katie also stopped me from spending like $200 on books.
It's because
It
I'm a
would have
great
been
friend.
so bad. Um, so instead I only spent less than that.
Less that's so vague. She only spent $195 on books.
It was less than that. It was less than that. It was gonna be like 13 books and I only
94.
bought like 6, 5,
Hey, you haven't
6,
bought,
6.
like, any books all year, so
Yeah, and then suddenly it's been like I think I'm up to like 13 books. I was looking at my journal the other day. I was like,
wait,
"Oh,
really?
yeah," because I went shopping.
I think
At half price.
I think I'm somewhere in, like, the teens maybe as well. I've
Yeah.
been better about buying books in February, but not that good.
January, I was on like a book buying ban, and so I kind of always have to make up for it the month after.
Yeah.
I've been like smarter about like what books I'm buying though. Like I'm not impulse buying these books I had been thinking about buying for quite a bit of time, so I don't feel too bad about spending it. Can we get a hint? I mean, you'll know by the end of the stream, but it is
Yeah,
a
we will
Brandon
tell you
Sanderson book.
later. I wasn't even gonna go that far
Oh,
and say the author. I It is indeed a Brandon Sanderson book.
Brando Sando.
Brando Sand. I hate it when people call him that.
Oh my goodness.
It's a book I bought recently, but I don't think I've talked about it in any vlogs or anything.
Mm-mm.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
I didn't buy it, but I acquired it recently.
acquired it.
Yeah. My parents gave it to me. It is not Tress. I would like to read that book at some point, and we were looking. No, wait, that's a spoiler. As to what? Not a spoiler for any of his books, like a spoiler as to what the book is. Um, so far, no one's guessed it. I'll tell you guys that much.
Brando Sando. I hate it too, but it's kind of funny.
So,
So, star ratings. What did everyone
yes,
think? I guess we should turn the discussion to
her.
this beauty.
I gave it 3.5.
I gave it 3.
What did
We literally were like,
everybody else-
look how pretty, and then we're like 3 stars.
what did everybody else rate this book?
4 stars, 3 stars, 3.5, 5 stars, 4 DNF'd. Ooh. That's a mood, Maddie. That is a mood. 4.5, 5. 3, 5. There's like really mixed.
Yeah.
Like there's some like 3 stars, lots of 4 stars. There's more 5 stars than I kind of expected.
Me too, honestly. So it's a mixed bag.
Very mixed. I went back and I read kind of like the Discord conversation because I definitely didn't just finish this last night. No. And like there was some good discourse and good like points being brought up. I think like the main thing that kind of took me out of the story was just how juvenile the writing was for YA. I think that was the main thing that took me out.
Yeah, it didn't really bother me that it was like it read so young. I kind of just like accepted it at some point. I was like, okay, this is a thing that's happening. But it definitely like it didn't read like YA at all, really.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of like just telling you how you're supposed to feel versus like showing like or allowing the reader to like come to certain conclusions. Like the author was like very much like, this is how you have to feel now.
Hmm.
And I really didn't like how, yeah, I didn't really like the writing. Like it wasn't just because it was juvenile, but it was also like they didn't really allow the readers to feel any emotions or like gauge how like they might have felt about a certain situation. Like namely, oh, what was her name? I literally all names gone.
The main character or
Not the main character, the stepmother. Ray
Raycama?
Coma?
Was that her
Ray
name?
Coma? Yeah. I thought I was just making that up for some reason in my head. Anyway, Ray Coma, when suddenly we're getting into spoilers now too, so like if
Oh
you
yes,
haven't,
there will be spoilers. And I think somebody asked, but there will be spoilers.
yeah. We're getting into that now, so if you haven't finished it or you're in the middle, perhaps dip. Anyways, Ray Coma, when she like our main character suddenly decided that, hey, maybe my stepmother isn't bad after all. It was like very forced upon you. There was no like hints dropped that like maybe she was being protected. It was just like a light switch.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're supposed to change your mind about this character that has been like completely built up to be this villain. And then suddenly there's like doubts from our main character. Like that made no sense because there was nothing leading up to that.
I can't lie. I don't know if I'll have too many thoughts on this book because I read it like 2 weeks ago and I feel like it's not a very memorable book. So I'm kind of just like, I think I remember these things happening. I think like I know I was never like invested in any of the characters or anything like that. I never felt anything towards them really. It kind of like I don't know, it was just happening. Somebody said it kind of read like a fairy tale, which I would definitely agree with. And I feel like for the most part, fairy tales are kind of like the characters aren't super well fleshed out for like a ton of them because you're mainly focusing on like the story. And I feel like that's kind of how this book went. But I feel like as a character driven reader, like I'm sure like you are, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well, it just didn't do anything for me really.
Yeah, I really want to know why like the people that gave it 5 stars gave it 5 stars because I don't see like where the substance is. And this has like a really high rating on Goodreads too. It's like a 4.26 or something crazy.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was genuinely shocked that the rating was that high because it felt so flat. Like everything just felt like bland almost. I don't know. I
See,
get
sorry, no, I just interrupted.
you're good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I enjoyed the story overall. Like, I ended up listening to it on audio for like the most part, just because I didn't really feel like picking it up physically. So, like, as I was listening to it in that way, I was enjoying my time, but I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much if I was like just reading it physically.
Yeah. See, I started with the audiobook and I actually didn't like the audiobook because I just didn't enjoy the narrator.
Really, I really like the
Yeah.
narrator. I
I don't know if
know.
I was like listening to it too quickly. Like I did have it on like 2.5 speed, but I don't know. It like made it feel even more like juvenile than it already was. I feel like.
I know that the narrator who does these, I think her name's like Emily Wu Zeller, maybe. I know she's narrated like a ton of other series. I think she also narrates the Poppy War, and she narrates like the Bone Witch series, maybe by Rin Chipeco.
Oh.
So like other series at least.
It could have just been the book and not the narrator, but
That's
I was like,
good.
I was annoyed. And then like, don't get me wrong, like Kiki was like a fun character and stuff. But like the way she voiced it, like it made sense, but I was like, shut up. Please shut up. I don't know. I couldn't do it.
I
The
really did
story.
enjoy like Takan as a character. I thought he was interesting, and I wish we would have gotten more of him because like a dragon shapeshifter, that's cool. But he was like
That
in the
wasn't
first part of the
that
book.
wasn't Takan.
Takan, what was his name?
Psych
What was
something.
what was the dragon's name? I'm sure
Sinica.
someone knows.
I don't know. Someone
Please
tell
help
us.
me out.
I'm like, someone pull through and tell us the character names. I swear I read this yesterday. I just am so Suryu.
Oh,
There you
yes.
go.
I wish we would have gotten more of Seryu. I thought he was a very interesting character, but I feel like he was mainly just in the beginning of the book.
Yeah. I think he'll probably be more prominent in the Dragon's Promise since she was like taken with him. But
Gave that away.
he still was so bland in my opinion. Like,
I feel like more could have been done with his
yeah,
character if he was in it more.
yeah, I think so too. I did like Takan though.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm a sucker for characters like that. It kind of reminded me of the love interest in Daughter of the Moon Goddess.
Okay. I could see that.
I don't know, being part of like the royal court and then her being like nothing when she's actually like she's not, but that's how she's perceived. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. But I was literally like pulling at strings because there was nothing. There was I don't know. It just felt so bland. I was a little sad. I think I maybe went into this book with like too much I didn't really have like big expectations for it, but I think I just like expected more. I don't know. Hopefully the second book's better because I do want to pick it up. But if I don't pick it up like within like a week, I don't know if I will continue the series.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that sort of situation.
I don't think I'm going to continue this series, honestly. Like, I love the cover for the second one, but I cannot justify reading the book just because I like the cover for it.
Yeah.
Like, I was willing to try out the series because it had, you know, a pretty cover, but I don't want to spend like $20 on a book that I don't really want to read right now anyway.
No, that's true. And the price did go up.
Did? To what?
I don't know, but I just remember like after I bought it, the price went up.
Well, now I'm really not gonna buy it. Brie said she's a sucker for royal men. Me too, honestly.
Yeah, I was reading Jasmine's comment about Takan being nice but wanted Soyu to be the love interest. I think they were hinting at like a love triangle because like there was like hints of like Soyu being like kind of jealous of Takan or like making like flirtatious comments. But like I said, like I feel like we just didn't get enough of him to really like connect to his character to want him to be a love interest. I think it would be cool, maybe, depending on like where the second book goes.
Yeah.
It's just a duology, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Haley says, personally, I give it 5 stars because of the vibe. Honestly, that's how we rate a lot of our books for 5 stars. Yeah, I mean, if you had a fun time, like, I guess that's true, like 5 stars. Because I think the world is cute and stuff, but it's just very, like you said, unmemorable almost.
Yeah,
In my opinion.
I like the setting. I feel like I wish we would have gotten more descriptions of the setting. I feel like that could have really amped things up a bit. But you know, it happened.
Yeah. I did like the sibling dynamic. I wish we almost got more of that.
Yeah.
Just because there's not a lot of books I feel like where there's like strong sibling relations. And that's always like a fun dynamic, especially since I have like 3 other siblings. So
I have like older brothers as well, so
yeah.
interesting.
It was something I was like, okay, these aren't completely like shitty like sibling writings. Because some people like butcher how to write siblings.
Yeah.
Like it's like clearly you do not have siblings.
No, I really like this stuff with all her brothers, and I liked the curse that like they were like them turning into cranes. I was like, that's weird, but I like it. I'm into that concept.
That's weird, but I like it,
Like,
I
the
guess.
magic I thought was very cool. I liked it.
Mm.
Very, like, folktale, mythology, whatever kind of vibe to the magic, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'll be just interested to see kind of like where the second book kind of explores into. Because I mean, they broke the curse, killed the stepmother. Well, stepmother killed herself basically.
Yeah.
um so what like plot line there was Dragon's Promise, and the promise was what? I don't even freaking remember. Something about there was a bet, there was a wager. Remember what it was?
I don't
I
remember.
literally started this book 2 days ago, finished it last night, and like don't remember.
You have no excuse.
I really don't. This is why I read the books last minute, for I have like fresher thoughts. Because if I read it 2 weeks ago like you did, I think I'd have absolutely no
I had
thoughts.
to read I have so
Empty.
much going on, like, school-wise, I knew I had to read it, like, soon, or else I would have, like, had to read it in 2 days, and I don't have time for that.
Stephanie says, I really love the book, maybe because I went into it not expecting a romance story, just an adventure. I love the sibling dynamics, and I was glad it was more of the focus than the romance. See, I wasn't expecting this to be a romance book, like, but even the adventure, I think the pacing of it felt very off, and like I feel like we weren't getting enough. I feel like anything that I liked, we just didn't get enough of.
Yeah, I feel like she was definitely, like, in some places for too long, and I feel like it could have been a bit more interesting if she would, like, moved around more, I guess. I feel like not a lot of development was happening when she was in those places for that extended period of time.
I think the main problem was just like the writing and the execution. Like I wish I loved it more. I wish I could have got like just like sat back, relaxed, and enjoyed the vibe. And I did start to like enjoy it more towards like the middle end part, but I don't know, the pacing was off. Like I don't know.
Yeah, Faith said it was way too middle grade for me not being like, for it not being middle grade,
For
and
not
I,
being
like,
middle.
completely agree. I feel like if this was marketed as middle grade and, like, I picked it up knowing that, I've been eating it up, you know? I've been like, "This is so
Yeah.
fun. This is so cute." But it's not.
Yeah. I really don't get how this is marketed towards being YA. I don't see it at all.
It could be marketed towards, like, very young YA. I could see, like, 14, maybe.
Isn't that still middle grade?
I feel like 14 is probably, like, younger end of YA.
14-year-olds are still technically isn't that like middle school?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was reading YA when I was in middle school.
Well, yeah. As was I. I'm just saying on average. I feel
I
like
feel
it's
like
not.
I don't think
Well,
14
maybe.
is I
Would
think 14 is
14-year-old me have loved this book? That was so long ago. Wow, I
Alright,
don't think
guys, we need a
crap.
poll. What do you think the age range for young adult is? I'm thinking, like, 13 to, like, I don't know. You're never too old to read YA, but you
I'm
might
having a crisis because I just realized how long ago I turned 14.
Yeah, how do you think I feel? That was, like, 8 years ago. 8 and a half
No,
years ago.
8.5, because it's gonna be almost 7 years. 7 years and 10 days. So my birthday's in 10 days. I'm gonna be 21.
Woo!
It's freaking wild.
Everybody better wish
Darcy said
Cassie
I
happy
legit
birthday.
almost DNF'd it like 30% through because it was I was taking so long to get it. Oh my gosh, only because it was taking so long to get interesting. Yeah, I agree. I think the beginning really didn't like suck me in. I think it took a while to get to like the curse part because she was just like fucking around, going to a festival, eating food. She did meet the dragon, but even that was just like kind of rushed through. So like it did get interesting when Raycoma like cursed her and like she couldn't talk and stuff, which was like an interesting way to like tell an entire story where our main character couldn't technically speak. I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of interesting.
I like, stories like that and seeing how they can, like, communicate that way because I think like, Gallant, the character's mute, and, like, seeing how she interact with people was also something I really enjoyed about that book, so seeing that here was cool too.
Forgot about that.
Oh, everybody's
We're
saying, like,
saying
13
13
plus
plus
for the middle grade question.
for the
Yeah.
middle grade.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Thank you for the responses.
Sorry, this comment kind of cracks me up. I want to try the soup.
Honestly, I'm not a soup person. I don't like soup that much.
Yeah. I did eat soup yesterday while reading the book, ironically though. But
Oh,
it was chicken noodle soup because I was sick. So
I like Olive Garden soup, but that's like the only soup.
I used to work at Olive Garden.
Did you
I
like
do
the
not,
Olive
in
Garden
fact,
soup?
like the soup. I mean, the chicken and gnocchi soup's actually not that bad.
Oh, but the
But
zuppa Toscana is delicious.
no, it's so potatoey and it was always salty.
I liked it. I think it's good.
The zuppa Toscana. Oh my gosh, the amount of like times it'd be called like Zuppa Tuscany. I'm like, tell me how. Tell me how you are pronouncing Zuppa Toscana as Zuppa Tuscany.
They wanted
Where
to
are you
sound
getting these letters?
Italian. The zuppa
Where are you getting
Tuscany.
these letters? Or like the chicken gnocchi would be like chicken ganache. I'm like, incorrect. Like y'all are trying, but you're failing. I would literally like tell my tables, I'd be like, go ahead and try to say it. If they were like struggling, I'm like, go ahead. This is like my only source of entertainment. It's like hearing people struggle to pronounce soup names. Please go ahead. The pasta e fajol. I had some fun pronunciation on that one. It's spelled Fagioli.
Wow. Oh god.
Yeah. Mm.
Anyway, that was a
Anyway, back to the book.
um
That could have been a worse tangent. You wrapped us right back in. Anyways. I like how Reikama had influenced Shiori's memory and we knew her real name all along. I thought that was interesting. I think that was like a little bit manipulative. Like maybe don't plant fake memories.
Yeah, I was reading that part. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that because she thought like it was like her real mother and she had like these nice memories like of her. But like Raycon was like, actually no, that was me.
Actually,
yes, me.
Yeah, I think that was, I don't know, that was icky. I didn't like the fact that she literally like manipulated her childhood and like memories.
Yeah. Reading that, I was like, I don't know about that one.
Little icky. Little icky. There's just a bunch of comments about soups and food. Oh my goodness.
I feel like what else is there to talk about aside from, the food?
If you want to read a book with like really, really good food descriptions,
Are you gonna recommend Kingdom of the Wicked?
Ranger's Apprentice has some really solid food descriptions.
Really? Because I read the first two and I saw no food descriptions.
That's a lie.
I don't remember them.
Yeah. In the later books, they actually like there's like an excessive description on like them preparing food in camp, and like some people would think it's so extra, but oh my gosh, it sounds so good. I'm like, damn, I'm hungry now.
Did we feel suspicious that it started like Spirited Away a little bit? I definitely saw that. I feel like it veered away from that path like pretty quickly, but in the beginning I was like, this is very similar. And maybe Elizabeth Lim really likes Spirited Away and she wanted to take some inspiration, which I don't see an issue with, but
oh my gosh, yeah. I'm like trying to recall Spirited Away. I got it mixed up with Howl's Moving Castle. I was like, no.
no.
Incorrect. I was like, Calcifer could be Kiki, I guess.
Please. But also like that could just be a common thing in like Japanese, or is this Chinese maybe based on folklore? But like a lot of Asian,
Chinese and Japanese.
A lot of Asian folklore just has, I think, themes of that potentially. Yeah. I'm not an expert on the subject, but dragons.
Dragons.
But yeah, with like the guy shape-shifting into a dragon, I was like, interesting.
I guess that's fair. What did we think about the plot twist with names? Does it start with a V? There.
Oh, I know. What is her name?
The one that ended up poisoning people.
That shady bitch. What was her name?
The shady mean girl. Like the very obvious enemy.
Yeah, I was not surprised at all.
Yeah. I think that's another reason why I was like a little sad, because I was like, okay, that was obvious from like a mile away, because it was
Like,
set up to be no one.
even when they were like, "Oh yeah, the cook did it." I was like, "The cook didn't do it."
No, literally, I was like, he's so clearly framed. Like, why are we framing that character? I think there's just barely any other characters.
I think her name is
So, like,
Zyrina. Yes.
I guess that is definitely correct. Not a Z. Or not a Y. Nope, V. Jeez Louise. I don't know what I'm saying.
Jeez.
Anyways. I think it would have been more fun if we had another character we could have pinned it on versus just like the typical mean girl. Like, bitch was sketchy from the start. I did think that Zarina was, I thought it was, oh wait, no, she literally was. Never mind.
What?
I was like, I thought she was like not actually her, like like I thought she was disguised as someone, and then I was like, oh wait, she was. But that's what I like had thought, because they hinted at it so obvious. They literally went
In book form.
in book form.
I did, however, really like Shiori's like relationship with Megari. I
Megari.
think that was her name. Takan's
So
little sister. I
cute.
thought that was cute.
Yeah, I would have liked if she was evil. I think that would have been a fun plot twist. But
Oh,
no, she
she's
was
like-
precious.
She's like 10.
I know, she was like precious though. And it would have been just fun to like see her character absolutely be evil for like no freaking reason. I don't know. Give a little spice.
Something.
No, that was a really cute relationship, especially since like she didn't have any sisters. Like Shiori only had like older brothers.
Yeah.
And I feel like people that like only have like one gender of sibling always want like the opposite until they get it, and then they're like, fuck, why did I ask for this?
Really, I've never wanted a sister.
No?
No, not really.
Interesting.
It's my hot take of the day.
I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister, so I've got it all.
Got them all.
Got them all. Collecting them like Pokemon.
10-year-olds are evil. Faith, you're right.
No, yeah, hot take, but not a hot take, absolutely.
It's a cold take. We all knew.
Cold take. Lukewarm take.
Any 10-year-olds in the chat, I'm so sorry.
If there's 10-year-olds in the chat, we gotta talk, because the YouTube policy is 13 plus, so.
Is it actually?
Yeah, that's why I have YouTube Kids.
Never thought about it. I was watching just like whatever when I was like 7.
I was so angry because we knew she was behind it and made Shiori's life miserable, but I don't feel like her end was very satisfying.
I don't remember what happened to
was her
again.
end? What even happened to her? Did she get like murdered or like thrown out of a horse or like stabbed or something?
I think she died. I don't know.
I think she died.
Anybody remember?
I mean, I know I finished this yesterday, but like,
yeah, this is really sad for you.
it just was not memorable in the slightest. She got shot by Yuri's people.
Okay. Deserved.
With an arrow. Yeah, that wasn't a very satisfying end. They also, like, I don't know, the ending where they suddenly were bringing in, like, different kingdoms and stuff, and, like, this evil sorcerer, I was like, there was, like, nothing really. Like, there was, like, hints of it happening, but then I was like, why are we doing this now? There was no, like, build up to it. It was just suddenly, like, we're in conflict. Ah!
Ah!
I love the fact that someone said that they thought you were an only child. You give off only child vibes. I don't know why.
And anybody else get that? Because I don't get that.
I don't know why. Maybe because I haven't met any of your siblings, so I'm like, they don't exist.
They're there. I have 2 older brothers.
Yeah. I hope I don't give off only sibling vibes. Only sibling,
you talk
only
about your
child vibes.
Frequently.
Hmm?
You talk about your sister a lot in like your videos and stuff. So
that is true.
And you're like, oh yeah, she just came and took some books from me the other day. She was over the other day.
She threw a fucking stuffed animal dolphin in my room the other day.
Oh yeah, the dolphin, of course.
The dolphin, yeah.
Stephanie thought we were both only children.
Oh. Incorrect. We got older brothers to keep us humble.
Certainly, yes.
Zum says, you are really making me critically think about this book now, and sadly you are right. I think if you don't I think if you do not critically think about this book and you just had fun,
yeah,
I think don't dive too deep into it. But
I think, I think if the characters would have been more fleshed out, I think this could have been a really good book.
not even just the characters, I think just like the world in general, plot lines, just...
Sorry. Go on. I have a thought, but you go on.
I said, or market it as middle grade.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, I mentioned this in my vlog, which like isn't up yet, but I did talk about it, that this would be a really good Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah, someone had mentioned earlier it'd be a good Disney movie, and I agree with that too.
Like, if like with the added element of like really pretty, like, animation or whatever, I think it could be stunning, and it could be.
Oh my god, can you imagine Kiki animated? That would be adorable.
So cute.
That would be adorable.
Like, I would eat it up if it was a movie. But I think in book form, it just didn't really work that well.
Yeah. I think it just needed to be fleshed out or marketed as not YA.
Yes.
The dolphin lore. There's a whole backstory to that. I was honestly quite disappointed by the book because it was pitched as a forbidden magic and we got none of that. I mean, I guess that's fair. Like, she was forbidden to use magic, but then she just, like, couldn't access her magic for, like, all of the book.
Yeah.
So...
I feel like, it kind of delivers. I'm looking at, like, the back, like, blurb here. I feel like it kind of delivers on all of these things, but only slightly.
Like...
You know what?
I think that sums up our book club discussions in one go right there. Like... oh my gosh.
That's good. Yeah, I did look up. This book is actually based off of like the Six Swans, like fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. So I thought that was interesting. I have no more to say about it, but I did look it up.
Interesting. I didn't really dive into it. I didn't really care that much. I did read the reviews and I was like, where are the bad reviews on this book? Where are they? Darcy says, I feel like the second book is going to give us everything we want, but I don't want to go through the effort of reading it. That's valid.
I agree.
That's valid. Like I said, if I don't read it within like a week, and I want to pick up Chain of Iron, so depending on how long it takes me to finish Chain of Iron will depend on if I pick up The Dragon's Promise or not.
I vote for Chain of Iron.
Well, I'm gonna finish Chain of Iron next. Because, like, I need to finish it. I really love it. But I had to read this book instead. Well, actually, I have to read my other, like, book club book. But
eventually,
after that, Iron
happen.
Widow by Shira J. Zhao.
Oh, Zum said I liked it, and I still don't want to read the second book.
Yeah.
So not glowing reviews.
I'm hoping, like, I don't know. I think it had potential. And I don't know if the second book is going to be better or not. I think some people said that the second book was better. But I think it's just because I own it. I'm like, should I?
For like a few days after I finished it, I was like, maybe I should pick up the second one. But now that it's like 2 weeks later, I'm like, no.
No. We never got to see Takan and Shiori kiss. That is true.
Yeah,
we're interrupted.
Yeah, what's the point in that? There's gonna be a romance. Give me a little something.
I mean, they almost kissed, and then they were interrupted.
Lame.
This started as a low 3 stars, but after talking and literally not remember anything, this is now mid to high 2 stars. Yeah.
I have a hard time giving books like 2 stars because I reserve my 2 stars for books I just really don't like.
Interesting.
But I don't not like this book. It's just like, it's there.
It's just, it's kind of just there. It's very average, very forgettable, but it's there.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
Everything.
Yeah, I really have no other thoughts. I don't like I don't know. I hate when we don't enjoy book club books a lot because then I feel like we're just like harking on it. So it's kind of hard to like, I don't know. There's not really a part of this book that I like really enjoyed until like the ending. I was reading it and I was like, oh, I finally am enjoying it. And it's only because like Shiori is about to die. Like finally something.
Something happened, and you're like, wow.
Yeah. Ooh, someone said I gave this book 5 stars, but the second book 3 stars. I wouldn't recommend it. Y'all
Well,
are convincing me to
technically,
not waste my time now, but I
that means
own
we
the
would give it
second.
1 star.
Do what?
Well, that means like if they give it a 5-star and then the second one was a 3-star, since we gave it a 3-star, the second one would be a 1-star.
Oh. I don't think that's how that works, but
It's a joke.
I understand that.
Anyway, I feel like that's all we have to say about it.
I think so too. I don't know if I'm gonna pick up the Dragon Promise now.
You're just gonna keep it on your bookshelf?
It's so pretty. I guess so.
I guess so.
I'm a little sad.
But also, like, you don't want to read a book that you don't want to read.
That is true. Just put me in a slump. See, I gotta stop buying books that I'm. Well, I didn't know I was not gonna like this, but maybe I should have just bought the first. But at least they're pretty. You know,
Yeah.
I bought it for the cover.
If anything, they're a lovely display piece.
They really are.
Which is a terrible thing to say about books, but
I'm like, they're forward facing, or this one was forward facing on the shelf below.
as it should
But
be.
if anyone asks, I'll be like, I didn't actually love it. It's just pretty.
I want
Okay.
like maybe I should find like an art print that looks like this instead and get rid of my my copy.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
I just want to read the second book for more Suyu because I want to learn more about him, but I also don't want to pick it up. Yeah. You could sell the second book and just buy the next Ranger's Apprentice instead.
don't egg her on.
I listen. I already own all of Ranger's Apprentice. I don't need to be egged on. I have 10 copies of the first book, okay? That is an unhealthy amount.
Yeah.
I have 5 copies just stacked on my bottom shelf for no reason. For all of last year, every time I saw the first book at half price, I bought it. And I don't know why.
Because you're insane.
Well, they're cheap though. They typically sell for like $5.
Yeah.
But why do I have 5 copies? Like,
because you're insane.
Yeah, it's a little unhealthy. It's fine. Okay, but like 3 of them are like collector's edition. Well, like collector's edition. I have a copy from the Netherlands, a copy from Russia, a first edition US copy, a new edition US copy, and then the original edition that I had. And then the other 5 I have no excuse for.
Hey, one of them came from me.
And one of them did come from Katie. So
can't get rid of that.
There's that. I'm keeping other people from reading it. Yeah, Faith, I understand that concept, but also it's fine. It's fine. I just it's fine. I'll probably give them away at some point. I mean, I gave Katie a copy when she gave me a copy.
I do indeed have it.
Yeah.
I did indeed read it.
Book cover designing would be such a fun job. See, I think that, but also I don't know. I like wanted to like try to design like dust jackets. I thought that would be kind of like a fun like bucket list project, but then I just get so overwhelmed. I'm like, that seems like too much. Like, I'm so indecisive. Can you imagine me like sifting through like 1,000 fonts to find like the perfect one for a book cover? No.
Yes,
absolutely
you would
not.
lose your mind.
I would absolutely lose my mind.
Well,
someone mentioned Mushu. I'm trying to find the entire time I thought of Sayuru when I was when not in dragon form was a mutated lizard person until I looked at the fan art. I kept thinking Mushu.
What? Please, that's great.
That's funny. I don't know how I pictured him. I think subconsciously I was picturing the dude from Spirited Away and I didn't even realize it was from Spirited Away. So.
What if your art got put on a bad book?
Like Six Crimson Cranes. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't a bad book per se. It was just not
That's
marketed
damn.
correctly, I think. Now, if it was a Far Wilder Magic, that's a different story.
Every time I see somebody who just like absolutely loves a Far Wilder Magic, I want to know why.
Yeah.
Like, I want to hear what they think about it, because I don't get it.
I know Faith absolutely loved that book, and so I'm just like waiting for her little comment. I just love dissing on it. I like this one better than a Far Wilder Magic, and I gave that one 3 stars, so I think I gave this a 3.5. I don't remember what I gave a Far Wilder Magic, but I think it was like a low 3-star.
I
like,
gave it a 2.
Did you? Did I drop my? I feel like I dropped my star rating after talking to you.
Yeah, I remember. No, I was like on my wrap up when I said I was giving it a 2. She's like, I see your, or no, you said, since you're giving it a 2, I will now feel free to give it a 2.
Yeah. But I enjoyed this one more than a Far Wilder Magic, so there's that. All right. Do we want to announce? I'll let you announce since you picked it, and I was just kind of here.
I have it right here. Oh, any guesses?
Any guesses? It's a Brando Sando. I hate that. It's a Brando Sando book.
No, I don't know how to keep the book tilted so you can't see the front.
I mean, just you can show the back. A lot of his like covers look the same, so like that really.
Yeah, but like this part is colorful, so I feel like if you know what this book is, you'd get it.
So was in Mistborn. Incorrect. Out of all the book club books, Strange the Dreamer is still my favorite. I think it's Katie's favorite too.
Yeah, as it should be.
I don't know what. Probably The Name of the Wind, but that seems like a cop out.
Huh? Oh, Name the Wind.
I feel like it's a cop out though.
Someone guessed it. It's Warbreaker.
Warbreaker.
A lot of people guessed Mistborn. I read The Final Empire like 3 weeks ago, guys. Could you imagine if I was just like, I'm gonna reread it now? But here she is. Oh God, Way of Kings. I would never subject you guys to that in a month.
Can you imagine? Oh my goodness.
I'm very excited about this one. We wanted to pick a standalone because when we announced that we were doing Six Crimson Cranes, somebody was like not exactly happy about the fact that we keep choosing series, which is very valid because like I get that you guys don't want to start series. So we wanted a book that is currently a standalone. There's a chance that it might get a sequel, but for now it's a standalone.
And it takes place in the Cosmere, so
yes. This could be a really good entrance point for the Cosmere, if any of you want to get into it. So I thought this would be
about. Give us a little. I have no idea what it's about. I just bought the book because Katie chose it.
Let me just read you the back of it. It says, Warbreaker is the story of 2 sisters who happen to be princesses. The God King, the God King, one of them, this is worded really weirdly. The God King, one of them has to marry a lesser. I'm not to save my life. I'm gonna give this like a quick perusal before I actually read it out loud.
She's gotta prepare a little bit. For some reason, like every time like I try to read out loud, like my ability to read just like leaves me. So like I understand the struggle that Katie's going through right now. Someone says I finally have an excuse to start a Brandon Sanderson book. Literally same. Literally same.
I don't know if I'm losing it, but I feel like this first like blurb is worded so weirdly.
Then word it better. It's gonna be my first Brandon Sanderson book too, Marie. I'm very excited. I already from the first sentence, I'm like, two sisters?
2 sisters?
Yes.
I'm just gonna read it. If it doesn't make sense, don't say anything about it.
All right. Judge Katie harshly. Bully her in the comments while she reads.
I can't read things out loud because I talk too fast, and then like my mouth gets ahead of where my eyes are, and then it's just not good. Anyway, Warbreaker is the story of 2 sisters who happen to be princesses. The God King one of them has to marry, a lesser god, and an immortal trying to undo the mistakes he made hundreds of years ago. Theirs is a world in which those who die in glory return as gods, a world transformed by biochromatic magic, a power based on an essence known as breath, which can only be collected 1 unit at a time from individual people. but it's worth it. By using breath and drawing upon the color in everyday objects, all manner of miracles and mischief can be performed. So the magic system has to do with like colors, and that's why it's so colorful, like on the cover.
That's fun.
I've heard really fun things about it. It's a good time.
I'm excited. I know the Cosmere is like a really, like, I know I'm gonna love it, and I'm like scared to go in with high expectations, but like it's Brandon Sanderson. I feel like I'm justified to have high expectations. And then
no, sorry, go on.
Go ahead.
No, I don't. I just keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited.
I just keep talking. It's fine. And then I'm hoping after this it'll get me in the mood to like actually pick up the Mistborn trilogy, because I did buy the Mistborn trilogy during my 2 a.m. book buying sesh.
I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh, I was gonna say I don't know what my expectations for this book should be, because obviously I had high expectations for like Mistborn and Stormlight, so I was like, yeah, obviously. But this is like I think an earlier work potentially. So when did it come out? 2009. So
2009.
It was published after Mistborn, but I think before Stormlight.
Interesting. How many pages is it?
It is
675.
I don't want spoilers. 652.
652.
Yeah, but like the text on these pages is like pretty big. So
yeah. So hopefully I'll announce it officially. Well, we will announce it like officially on all our channels tomorrow. Unless I get around to doing that today.
Probably tomorrow.
So I'm very excited. I think it's going to be a really good book. I think there'll be a lot of opportunities for discussion, which is why I like picking up high fantasy for a book club. I know a lot of people don't, because like they're longer books, so they take longer to finish, and like some people don't have time. But high fantasy, I feel like gives it like we have more like content to discuss.
I agree. It's just a lot more to it. Although I guess Six Crimson Cranes was high fantasy, but it's like adult high fantasy.
Adult fantasy, that's what I meant, not high fantasy. That was my bad. I meant adult fantasy. Anyway.
So,
that was that. That was the discussion. That was our little announcement.
Exciting announcement.
Exciting
stuff. You're gonna be triggered by this map you had that's in here. Look at all these tiny houses.
Ooh, the trauma, slightly. A little bit of trauma. Scares me a little. But I feel like it's worth noting for those of you that like are here. Our live show next month will actually be on a Sunday. I feel like that's worth noting.
Don't you mean a sprints?
Right? Huh? The sprints or the live show?
Well, the sprints we were doing on the 11th.
Oh, okay. Whoops. Those reading sprints will be on a Sunday, not the live show. I just don't know how to read my calendar.
Naturally.
So, anyways, but the live show for this will be held on March 25th. So you have exactly a month.
It's my first day of spring break.
Ooh, that's a late spring break.
It's when we always have spring break.
Huh. That's interesting.
Like having spring break any earlier, it wouldn't be spring break, it'd be winter break.
I'm excited though, because like our thumbnails will be spring. Our dragon's gonna be in spring form. I'm very excited.
I've seen the dragon in its spring era. It's very cute.
Spring era? Yeah, because March 20th is the first day of spring. Very exciting stuff.
Can't wait for spring.
Not for my allergies, but like for the thumbnail.
If anything, wait for the thumbnail.
Yeah. Anyways, any final thoughts, any final statements before we go?
I think that is it.
I think so. I will see y'all. We will see y'all. Yeah. The reading sprints.
Yes, indeed.
On Sunday. When I announce that eventually. And the 12th, that is true. Yes. And I was going to say something else and I don't remember. Yeah.
Exciting things are happening that weekend, guys.
Exciting things are happening that weekend.
I was more on the subject.
I'm so excited. Anyways, everyone have a lovely rest of your
Yes.
Saturday.
A good weekend.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Read some good books.
Yes, read some good books. Buy Warbreaker by Brendo Sando.